when prescription becomes addiction? That is a critical question, isn't it? Many Oklahomans have a legitimate need for prescription painkillers for the relief of pain from a surgery or injury. Unfortunately, even legitimate reliance on medication can easily and unintentionally turn into a physical dependence. That can be confusing, as medications are prescribed by a doctor, so doesn't that mean that they are needed and safe to use? Well, alarmingly, the most common prescribed drugs, including OxyContin, Vicodin, oxycodone, hydrocodone, Darvocet, Lortab, Lorcet, and Percocet, can cause one to start needing the drug in order to feel normal or even keep from getting sick. At the same time that offering that relief from pain. That is called addiction, whether it's prescribed or not. Addiction is an obsessive compulsive behavior. They become obsessed, meaning it controls their thinking and focus, and it becomes compulsive, meaning they must get the drug regardless of what it costs in terms of money, time, and relationships. Addiction is progressive, meaning it is hard to distinguish from legitimate need in the beginning, and then it gradually builds in intensity until it controls one's life. At the same time, the denial associated with addiction is developing, making it hard for the addict to see it, and often for those who love them to see it as well. By the time addiction reveals itself, often the addict is firmly within its clutches. Early detection and intervention lessens the progression of the addiction and the damage that it causes, so it's vitally important. Here are some symptoms to consider if you think someone you know may be experiencing dependency on these drugs. Number 1, usage increase. Over time, it's common for individuals taking prescription medications to have increased tolerance to the effects of their prescribed medication dose. That means it takes more and more of the drug to produce the same effect. Increased tolerance indicates that the person will also have increased withdrawal symptoms when they quit the medication. That is physical addiction to the drug. This symptom can be seen by the following signs: badgering the doctors to continue their medication past the prescribed period, taking more medication or at a higher rate quicker than prescribed, pressuring their doctor for higher and higher doses, or going to more than one doctor to get more of the drug. That's called doctor shopping. There is number 2, a change in personality. While there may be other explanations for this change, it's also a sign of dependency. Energy level, mood, and concentrations may change, and that may signal that everyday responsibilities become secondary to the need for the relief that the prescription provides and the psychological escape that it offers. Opiate drugs affect the brain in a way that heightens one's perception of pain, both physical and emotional. They may become less tolerant of the stress of everyday life and neglect schoolwork, parenting, or job responsibilities. Number 3 is social withdrawal. Withdrawal from family, friends, and other social interaction may result as they become more focused upon their drug, obtaining it, and avoiding the negative feedback about it and or the stress of social interaction. Initially, they may tend to hang out with people who share their growing obsession with the drug. The commonality that forms the basis of their relationship may be the sharing of contacts for doctor shopping or acquiring street drugs. As the addiction progresses, the obsession with securing a supply of the drug and finding sources narrows their social circle to those people who use at the level they use and know how to get the quantity of drugs that they use. By the time you detect this pattern of behavior, they are likely using a far greater amount than you are aware. Number 4 is ongoing use. Wanting refills after a medical condition has improved can be a sign of a forming addiction. They may say they are still feeling pain and they just need a little longer for the medication in order to get well. Well, frequently complaints about doctors who refuse to write the prescriptions, looking for other doctors, or being fired or referred by a doctor could be signs of this addiction forming. The addict may actually be experiencing pain as opiates numb the pain receptors in the brain, and chronic use can create a chronic hypersensitivity, meaning they have an enhanced perception of pain. Many opiate addicts who had no chronic pain problem before they started using painkillers develop one during their addiction because of the effects of opiates on the brain. Number 5 is the time and effort spent on maintaining a supply. They have to have the drug, and an addict will spend large amounts of time searching, driving great distances, and visiting multiple doctors to obtain the drug. This is a result of a preoccupation with securing their needed supply of the drug, demonstrating that the drug has become their top priority. Number 6, a decline in appearance and or personal hygiene. As the addiction becomes their focus, less attention is placed on other things that previously were considered important, like appearance and self-care. The opiate, a central nervous system depressant, bombards the brain daily, also causing chemically induced depressive state that lowers one's motivation. Pupils may become constricted, smaller. They may itch and scratch frequently. Number 7 is a decline in health. Sleeping habits may change as a result of a lack of energy and tiredness. They may nod a lot, fighting sleep. Eating habits may also change, as opiates often affect one's gastrointestinal system. While using, the addict will tend toward constipation. During the ascending high, they may become nauseated. In withdrawals, they may tend toward diarrhea, and a person may have a constant cough, runny nose, and red glazed eyes. Number 8 is they may neglect responsibilities. A dependent person may call in sick to work more often, or school, or neglect household chores, and even bills that need to be paid. Number 9, increased sensitivity. Normal sights, sounds, and emotions may become overwhelmingly stimulating to the person. Hallucinations, although perhaps more difficult to monitor, may occur as well. Blackouts and forgetfulness are the 10th symptom. A definite sign of dependency is when the person regularly forgets events that have taken place that they were actively involved in and appears to be suffering from blackouts. Now, blackouts are not the same as dozing off to sleep. These are people that are functioning, but they have no recollection of what they did. The 11th symptom is a defensiveness. When the addict feels that their addiction is being threatened, even on a subconscious basis, they can become very defensive. Just being discovered is considered a threat to their addiction, because if they acknowledge the addiction, they may feel like they will be pressured to do something about it. So a type of defensiveness called denial begins to develop. Subconsciously, they steer to head off awareness of their drug abuse or its consequences by minimizing it or blame shifting, etc., saying, if you weren't so nagging, I wouldn't need this medication, etc. They might even react to simple requests or questions by lashing out. Prescriptions to painkiller medication can be safe when taken as prescribed and when they are carefully monitored. However, it is important to recognize, even when prescribed, opiates can be dangerous. Addiction is a disease that can develop even in the most cautious person. Therefore, anyone who is prescribed pain medications should take extra precaution to avoid developing a dependency. Watch for these symptoms. If you need more information, please come by our website, ascs-okc.com, or give us a call at 405 672-3033.